Hey everyone, Mind Middleware here, Diego, joined by Marissa today. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. How are you?
Very well, Diego. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been a busy week here in beautiful Sydney. We're having awesome weather today, actually. So yeah, very happy to be here. Were you going to say something?
No.
Oh yeah, do.
No.
I thought you were going to say something.
I was just going to agree. It's stunning. Stunning weather.
It is beautiful. So let's delve into it a little bit. Why don't you tell me, for people who don't know you, what's your human doing? What do you do day to day? What's your job?
So my job is obviously at Atura. It's head of marketing communications for corporate. So I do everything from LinkedIn through to marketing strategy, through to conferences and events, all of our social media, investor relations, public relations, so the full spectrum across marketing. And then we have a marketing team that sort of sits and works with me, who are sitting in the individual BUs. And I've been here for about 3.5 years. 3 years here, 3 years in tech. So still a pretty new industry. Yeah, and beyond that, I look after my 2 kids, 4-year-old, 6-year-old, and a whippet. Got a dog as well. And just love to exercise and just do the juggle.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have a greyhound, so it's sort of like a bigger version of yours.
Yes. Yeah, amazing. They're sloths. They just lay around.
Yeah. They don't do much. We always laugh about the fact that this is for a dog that runs so much. You lie around a lot. How did you get to where you are, career-wise?
Well, it started way back in Perth. So I've
Born and bred?
Yep, born and bred Perth. Been here for 17 years in Sydney, but I studied a marketing sales degree, so a commerce degree. Started at a rural farming newspaper, part of the Fairfax group. So spent about 5 years there, just doing everything from costing out advertisements to photography books to payroll to admin, just a whole range of things. And then I was a very passionate AFL supporter. Okay. So I was like, okay, I really need to get a job at the best football club in Perth. Okay. So I just kept applying. They finally took me on. Yep, great. So I started working for the West Coast Eagles Football Club, and I luckily came in the year that they won the grand final. So it was so exciting to just be this junior marketing person that was at the football club, like my dream job. Got to fly into Melbourne, go through the whole grand final process. I actually watched it the other day. I put it on the TV and went, girls, let's watch the grand final, like just reminisce and take me back there because it was such a good time. And then I did my MBA. So I was sort of at the point where I'm like, I'm 20. I think I was 25. And I went, okay, how am I going to put myself above these people that are applying for all these amazing jobs? So yeah, I just went, all right, I'm going to do my MBA. I do want to lead teams one day. So I was doing personal training in the background. I'd gone through the Australian Institute of Fitness and I was doing some PT stuff. So what I realized along the way is that I really loved working with people and coaching people in that fitness capacity. So how could I translate that to the workplace? And I went, okay, I've got lots of friends in Sydney, some family in Sydney. Let's spread my wings, get out of Perth. Perth is a really isolated city anyway. But I'd been very scared to sort of move beyond Perth because I had this support network there. So I went to Sydney, started working in financial services for this big company called Aon, a big brand called Aon. So I was doing superannuation consulting and then ended up at a big wholesale fund manager. And that's where I got my first management job. So I'd finished my MBA and my boss was just like, I think you should lead the graphic designers and the marketing coordinator. And yeah, that was 5 years there, really interesting American-based company. So we were tailoring everything to Australia. And then I ended up at AMP, which is obviously a big brand here. So 7,000 employees, very much into the digital marketing space, and spent 8 years there. So
at the boom of the digital.
So it was interesting because I felt at the time it was like I was managing a team and I got this opportunity at AMP and it was like, oh, you're not going to be managing people here anymore. But I went, but my opportunity is actually I'm doing traditional marketing. Now I can move completely into digital marketing, and that's actually going to benefit me. So it was a really, really good move, because then I got to get management experience at AMP anyway. So I'd had my 2 kids while I was there. So they're really great. Went off, had my couple of kids, and I came back from my first lot of mat leave, and they went, all right, we want to take you to take on this secondment role. You're going to manage a team of 6, just when COVID hit.
Oh.
So it was full on. I was like, okay, I've got one child at home. I'm working from home. I have to get the team completely on board to just do everything from home. And this was at a time where people were in crisis in terms of their finances as well. So we had to just produce like so much content. I was there working until 11:30 at night, but it was an amazing opportunity. And then I got the opportunity to Tura. So that's where I am now.
We were just coming out of some of the lockdowns in little New Zealand, and that just happened. So, and I remember it was affecting everybody around us. It was not only the fact that people were literally passing around us, but it was also the fact that, the economic pressure was completely different. We didn't know what the world was going to look like.
Yep.
Little did we know, by the way, that things were going to change so much. So going through that, you mentioned you felt the pressure of other people feeling it. So you had this, which I think is awesome, this willingness to go, we need to put content out there so people feel that less of a financial uncertainty, probably.
Correct. Yeah.
So how was that for you from your personal perspective, having to work all those many hours, having to finish at 11 p.m.? How do you navigate that?
I guess it's a bit easier when you're working from home to just, put your kids to bed, get the dinner, and then go back online. I just felt a huge sense of responsibility, because I was not only being given this amazing opportunity to lead the team in my boss's absence, because she went on mat leave. But yeah, because I'd worked at the company for a long time, and I understood the different products. So we worked across different product lines, but it was banking, superannuation. It was at the time when people could actually take out their superannuation to help their financial situation.
Right.
So this is actually really important to let people know as much as we can how we can help. So I just felt a huge sense of responsibility, and also I wanted to be there to help the team get through it as well, because it's like, as you said, everyone's just working from home, and some of them were living by themselves. So it was a combination of, we need to help the customers, but I also need to help the team and make sure they can get through it, whether it's going out and doing walking meetings or, mental health first aid, which I talked to you about. So I became a mental health first aid officer during that period. And yeah, it was really useful to have that training to then make sure I was equipped to help people.
What we talked about it before, that's why the question seems rehearsed. It isn't. But I'm super curious about it, because I have the same accreditation, and it's fun, maybe not funny, haha, but it's funny. What drove me was my own introspection and going, if I'm going through this, people will want to talk about stuff, and offices are usually not a place where you go and talk about your feelings and things like that. Hence this podcast as well. But that was the thing that made me, make the decision to go and say, you know what, I can be that person. I enjoy conversations, and I can at least listen. Just 90% of the times what people need.
Yep.
And I will say it again. I say it on every episode, and I'll say it again. I am not a mental health professional. I am not academically trained. I have no real experience in the field in terms of helping people, more than listening and just sort of listen to their stories and provide my point of view. With that in mind, that's what drove me. What was, when you made the decision to go, I'm going to do this training, was there a specific thing or?
It wasn't. It was more that I'd always been interested in psychology and helping people. So I even looked at studying psychology / criminology back when I was deciding whether I was going to do commerce. So it was like, okay, you could have gone off to Canberra and studied specialist sort of criminology, or let's just stay in Perth and do commerce. So I'd always been interested in that psychology side of things. And then when the opportunity, so AMP basically reached out and said, we're offering this training to anyone who is interested.
Right.
We will put you on a 2-day course. We'll pay for everything. This is going to be the content. This is what's going to happen afterwards. Like, this is what you're required to do, which was a lot of meetings with groups of people especially through COVID, to go, how are you coping?
Mm-hmm.
Then obviously one-on-ones. And I just wanted to learn more. So it's not even about just listening for me. And I'm not qualified either. I've done psychology up to a point. But I wanted to go beyond just listening. I wanted to be equipped to go, okay, well, how can I even identify if people are in real trouble?
100%.
Like, because a lot of people don't know the science of, some people might be at the point where they're suicidal, and one lady did commit suicide at AMP. It was horrible. So how do I identify that stuff as well? Heavy topic, but yeah.
It is, and then there will be disclaimers about it. Picking up people's signs. So I always, because I was suicidal, because I had dealt with depression for many years, and because I've had attempts and a bunch of other things. So for me, I do see signs maybe naturally. The training gave me further tools to recognize that when it wasn't the same as I was experiencing, because it never is. So that's super interesting to me that's one of the things that you took from it. And I wonder, and I'm sorry that person that you went through having someone maybe not close to you, but
she
just
was not close, but
in
it's
the
just
same environment.
In the marketing team, and everyone was just struck by it. It was
it's pretty horrible. But I wonder if at any point, having some of these conversations before and after this accreditation, did you feel more prepared? If you felt more equipped after that? If you saw a difference between, I was having conversations like this before, and now after this training, I feel like I can pick up on certain things. And what I'm trying to get at is, not every company offers this sort of training to. And I think when I talk about, and we'll get that in a minute, but when I talk about what we're doing in the industry, we're not doing in the industry. So the training that I did, the training that you did, this is the only 2 times that I've heard companies offering it like that. And I think we should do a lot more than that. I think it should be, this is my personal view, almost maybe mandatory to have at least one person who is trained and or accredited to go, if you need to have a conversation, I'm here. I'm not going to solve anything really, but I'm going to pick up on science and I can help you find resources and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I said a lot of words, but I wonder what your thoughts are around that.
I totally agree. And I raised the same thing when I first started here.
Right.
Yeah, I did. I raised it with people and culture and said, well, I'm qualified. Like, is there any way that we could go through this process? Because in my mind, you've got your physical well-being and you've got your mental and emotional well-being. We have first aid officers in organisations across the board, but it's the same sort of thing to me in my mind. Yes, we've got EAP, and that's all great, but you're right. It's having someone internally to even point people in that direction and go, do you know this service exists? This is how I can support you even through that process. It would be amazing.
And people in culture, they do a lot, and I don't want to minimize the work and the effort that they put in, but I think it's identifying who is the right people to have these conversations, and or even if you want to, because many a time I found myself not being able to cope with those conversations, and just recognizing that I'm not equipped to have this conversation right now, but I can point you in the right direction. It has happened to me before. So I think that's super interesting.
Yeah.
I'll pause that conversation for a second and I'll get back to it. But I don't want to forget about one of my anchor questions, which is defining your relationship with work with an analogy or a metaphor. That's something that I really like asking, because it sort of delves into how you see your relationship with work in a different light.
Yeah. So I did have a bit of a think about this.
Cool.
I would say it's like a winding road. So it hasn't been my career has not been linear.
Okay.
I'm not someone who's been in one industry and done one thing for, I'm 45 years old, so 25 years. I've done lots of I've stayed in marketing the whole time, but I've gone to different industries and transferred my skills along the way and learned things along the way and challenged myself by learning about that new industry and moved to different places and done personal training. And it's been this sort of winding road of up and downs. So that's how I describe it. That's the best way to talk about it, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And are you familiar with the, what's it called? So there's a dissonance between I know something, I should say, and I know nothing about this thing, whatever that might be. Usually at work, you go, I'm studying a new role. There's a bunch of things that I'm required to know or that I want to know to do my job better or differently or to excel into it. The unknown of it, there's a whole theory around how the more you live in that space, the further you advance and the more you get into that, because it's like we will never really know everything that we're supposed to know about anything really, but on the role that you are. So I think it's super interesting because it feels that way. Sometimes it feels like I'm supposed to be going north, but it feels like I'm going south. So it's just making peace with that windy road. I think is super interesting.
Yeah.
So did you make peace with that? Do you still feel like you're in that windy road?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. I think it will just continue.
And never lost?
No, because I'll move on to something else. I'll do something different. It's good to not be complacent, I think. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So tell me about so like we said, personal training.
Yep.
Was part of your background.
Yep.
So you're well connected with, I would assume, with your body and reading your body's reactions. And what are the signs that you pick up, if any, when you start seeing, oh, this feels like stress, or this feels like burnout, this feels like whatever that might be. Some people flare up on, different conditions or whatever it is. So do you have any, first of all, have you ever felt that level of I'm fucking burned out? Or, and if not, did you pick on something? What's your process on that?
I actually had it recently, so it's good to talk about it. Yeah.
Sorry.
So no, it's all good. It's just acknowledging what's going on. So I just was so agitated that I went, you know what? I need a break. And then I reflected and I went, I've not had a break the whole year apart from the public holidays. I've not gone anywhere. Whereas last year I went Perth, Singapore, Perth. I had these great, beautiful holidays away with my friends and family. I'd not had a break at all. I'd just been doing the juggle. I had my kids half the time, coming to work, to the office the rest of the time. And I lost it. And I went, David, I need some time off. So that to me, it was too much stress. I couldn't actually see the big picture. And I just needed some time away. So I took 3 days off and basically lay in my bed for one day and just did lots of exercise, because exercise is a huge thing. I think I did 5 or 6 sessions of exercise in 3 days. So that was a big thing. Just going, I'm burnt out. And then also back when I was working, looking after my 2 daughters at the time, and then was trying to do my 4th year of psychology. And it was all online through Monash. And I remember trying to do the 2nd unit of 4th year, logging on at 8:30 at night to try and do this seminar effectively. Very hectic stats unit. And I just went, it's too much. I'm pulling out. I'm stopping. Because how am I going to manage all of this? So stressful.
Not everybody has that clarity, right? I hope you know that it's really hard realizing that. When I did my master's, I remember there was a point where I was like, I can't. I had a very difficult job. I was traveling all around. I was working for a vendor, so I was a lot of times here in Australia, traveling across the country in New Zealand. And I remember thinking, I don't think I can do this. But I didn't stop, because I can give you a gazillion excuses as to why I didn't stop. However I see it, it was a mistake not stopping. But I remember one of the things that I said to myself was keep going, This is about finishing what you started. And we have this, I don't want to say culture because maybe it's not a culture, but we have this ideology or idiosyncrasy where we go, we have to finish. We started this thing. We have to finish it. It doesn't matter. You have people around you telling you it's taking a toll. Like I can see you. I can see your decline. A few people said to me, dude, you're not doing well. And yet keep on going. And I finished it and depression and burnout. And it was, I would say 3 years, maybe more of just trying to get back to my usual self.
I can't even comprehend that. Well, I also, the year before or the year before that, because of studying so late at night, was so stressed out, and I put it down to this, so stressed out the next morning that I was rushing to get to work, and I basically smashed all my hand in on the way to work. I was so tired, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be late for work. So I bent all of my fingers back. I basically crashed just before I got to the train.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that took a year to heal. So I think there's all those things going through my mind going, there's not enough hours in the day to do this. But also, what if something like that happens again? Yeah. It's not worth it.
And 24 hours, Fraser says, in episode 1, he says the 24 hours are 24 hours.
Yeah,
that's it. You have to manage that. There's a finite, number of hours. There's not much you can do about that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Was that useful?
Hopefully people will find it. I find it super useful. One of the reasons I love these conversations is that not a single one have I walked out not learning something. I always learn something. And that's what I love about conversations with people in general. All right. Thank you thus far. So we talked a little bit about what the industry is doing and not doing. I have this view. I always say the same thing. People are going to get tired of me saying it. I feel like the technology industry, we have this complacent view of mental health. And I've had conversations with friends in different industries where they go, but you'll always have a job because it's the tech industry that runs the world supposedly. And it just, they'll always have a job and blah, blah, blah. I believe that does some damage and it hurts quite a bit. So I wonder what your thoughts are in terms of how we're doing as an industry in terms of mental health. Not a professional view, but more of this is what I see. This is the conversations that I'm having. And also what you think we could be doing aside from the first aid that we just discussed, if anything.
I don't know, Diego. I don't know if I have a good answer for that question.
It's okay.
Yeah.
There's no good or bad answers, just your opinion.
I think it's across industries. I think it's everywhere. I think it's the stigma of mental health. This is my take on it. The stigma of mental health still exists. Not as much as it did before, but it still exists. So I think, I don't know, even in this business, I've seen it get better over time, over the 3 years, in terms of education, not the mental health first aid stuff, but even the uptick in usage of EAP and the training that we're getting internally and we're encouraged to do. But honestly, I think, I don't know, it just happens across the board.
Sometimes leaders in businesses have this lack of, it's not even lack of empathy. It's not lack on their person themselves. It's just like you assume that the person working with you is doing okay because they don't bring anything up. Not everybody comes to you and says, hey, I'm not doing well. And if you're not equipped or prepared or even looking for some signs, they may just go above you. So I think
it's often the opposite though, is when people don't come to you. That's what I've experienced. When people don't come to you and they start being a bit quieter or putting their camera off or not engaging as much, they're actually the signs that you need to look out for. And you need to be proactive to reach out to people who, you're right, there are people who are just wearing my heart on my sleeve. Marissa, I'm not coping with my work. Oh my God, there's all this stuff happening with my family. And I have always then stepped in and gone, let me manage some of your work. But But yeah, you're right. Not everybody's like that. And the quieter the people are, often that's the big sign.
And you know, people leading other people, what I'm trying to get at is sometimes they are not looking for those signs. And sometimes they get missed because they're not looking for those signs. So I think that's probably education for me is just the biggest thing that we should be doing, awareness.
Yeah.
And remove the stigma. I've had people who was interested in being part of the podcast, actually. Mm-hmm. And then when I go and explain the premise of it, they go, that's going to be seen as a weakness. If I come and tell you that I had a breakdown, like you just did. So I'm really thankful for the story that you just told. Because a lot of people will go, that's going to be seen as a weakness, and it's going to affect literally someone said to me, it's going to affect my next career move. And I don't want that to happen. So it's not a judgment towards that person. We're doing so badly as maybe as society, but as an industry or whatever it is, that people are afraid to talk about these things because it may affect their career path or whatever it is. And I think that's fundamentally wrong. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this, is that the more we talk about it, we all at some point, we're going to realize that it's just normal. It's not okay, but it's normal. We all go through it.
It's very daunting to talk about it. It was even daunting for me to talk about it, but
thank you.
I think what I've learned is from my own experience. So we've actually just done recently the DISC profile, which is what a lot of the EGMs have done. So it looks at your behavioral style. Mm-hmm. And I think what that told me is I've got to actually lean into the vulnerability and the hard conversations and things like that. And that will actually help me grow as a person and a leader. So people shouldn't be shying away from it.
How do you show up as vulnerable?
I'm not good at it. I'm not good at all.
Okay.
I have to push myself to be like that because I'd prefer to be tough. You know, tough.
Yep.
And hold everyone else up. If I'm tough, then I hold I can hold the team up.
It's the vision. Is that the image, the mental image?
It's a little bit, but it's also my upbringing.
Right.
It's just the way that I've been brought up.
Why do you think that? That you have this tendency, other than your upbringing, but this tendency of I have to be tough, and it's really hard for me to go vulnerable. And
because I think there's the perception within me, but that if I'm vulnerable, that it will lead to what you were saying before. So I'm actually pushing myself. It's like little baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
You're exposing yourself to being more uncomfortable, having awkward conversations, telling your honest truth to people.
Did you see? Thank you for being so open and honest. I can tell it's hurting you.
There's no tears yet, Diego.
Have you found? Sorry,
you're laughing at me.
No, not at you. Are there any differences that you noticed between when I show up vulnerable and when maybe not when I'm tough, but when I'm just my regular self?
Yeah.
Do you see a different response from people? And how was that positive, or how was that experience? How is that experience for you?
I think it is positive, because if you show up vulnerable, then people tend to bring down, because it's always people say, oh, you've got up all these walls, Marissa. I bring down my walls. They also feel like they can express their vulnerability to me, and it actually makes your relationship stronger, whether it's work, personal life. That's the outcome, because they go, well, she's in this leadership position, but she's willing to share this with me. Things are actually really hard.
Thank you so much for saying this.
Yeah. It creates more empathy.
Thank you so much for saying this. And this is a highlight for me of this whole conversation. You show up vulnerable. I always say this. You show up vulnerable, and that opens up for a better and different conversation and relationship. Thank you.
It creates a much greater understanding for the two people. And it's a much better way forward, because I think then you've got that at the back of your mind when you're liaising with that person anyway. It's like,
Thank you.
she's got a lot going on. Okay, I'll go a bit easier on her, and vice versa.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries.
That's so deep. We don't have a lot more time, but I'll ask you 2 last questions, if that's okay. Number one would be, and we may have skipped on certain things, that if there's anything you wanted to say, but we didn't, just let me know. Touching on, the things that you do when you feel the stress. So you mentioned before that you took on a couple of days off and stuff like that. Do you have any day-to-day or daily routines or things that you do to ground yourself when you go, I need a minute? Or maybe not. Maybe you just go, this is a thing that I have to do every day because it keeps me sane. Shouldn't have used that word. Keeps me grounded in that level.
Yeah.
So what are those things?
So firstly, coffee.
Nice.
Coffee's like a basic
neurological explanation.
Girls, I need my coffee, and then I can just be focused on what we need to do for the day. So coffee.
Got it.
Second one is try and be in the wise mind, if you've ever heard of that. So the wise mind is, so there's the rational mind, the emotional, and the wise mind is in the middle.
Yep.
And it's part of a type of therapy called DBT.
Yes.
So I try and come back to the wise mind as much as possible, and sort of go, okay, well, there's a moment where I'm getting agitated or whatever, and I go, okay, well, what is effective for me to do right now? Is it taking a deep breath? Is it splashing my face with water? Is it just taking a different approach? So that's the second one. So that's probably more up here, not the coffee. And the third one is, well, maybe there's a fourth one too. Third one is definitely exercise. So it's like going out lunch breaks. I love to exercise on my lunch break, walking my dog when I'm working from home, because he's like a therapy animal anyway. You know what they're like,
Yep.
the sight hounds.
Yep.
And just staying active. And the endorphin rush is really good. So whether it's body weight, running, yoga, just making sure my body feels good and then my mind feels clear, and just spending time with people that I like spending time with.
Connection.
Yeah, the connection is important. So my time without the kids is a lot of just socializing when I can.
I think it's interesting and not surprising. Every person that I've interviewed, published or not, they talk about connection with other people, connection with your body, understanding what's happening in your body and how to release dopamine and endorphins, but through being outside.
Yep.
We talked about it in the last episode. We laughed with the last guest because she said, I'm getting better at going outside the house and touching grass.
Grass, sun, water, yeah.
So I thought that's very interesting, and understanding your own mind. Like Fraser said on the first episode, he said, he frames it as when he's going through any issue or any challenge or whatever it is, he goes, is this a fact or a feeling?
Yep.
And I always loved that since the first day he told me this, because it's like, and I've had this conversation with other people where you go, frame it this way, and you go, is it a feeling? Am I feeling angry at something that is not a fact? Or is it a fact that there's something's happening in this action right now? That framing it that way has helped me in a lot of situations.
That's amazing, yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Last question.
Cool.
If you could whisper anything, a comment, a wise comment, whatever you may think, whisper in everybody's ear in the tech industry or any industry before they wake up, before they start their workday tomorrow, what would that be?
I would say it would be good to yourself and to others. So yourself, meaning self-care, like we've talked about, setting boundaries. How do you actually set the boundaries to not get to the point of burnout? whether it's, going out and exercising on your lunch break or going, okay, it's 5:30. I'm not logging on tonight. I'm not having Teams on my phone. I'm not having an email on my phone. So set those boundaries, look after yourself, and then be good to others. So it's exactly what I talked about before. Understand that people have work pressures. They've got other things going on in their life. Be kind to them. Treat them how you would like to be treated, and just try and get the context about what's going on and have the empathy. So that's what I would say when people wake up.
Thank you.
And then they can write in their gratitude journal.
Thank you so much. Write in your journal.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Diego.
Before I let you go, is there anything else you would like to say? Anything else that you would like people to take away from this, other than that last very wise thing that you just said?
No, I would just say thank you very much for creating the podcast, because I think it's amazing. And beyond this episode, please keep listening, because I think it's really important that we keep talking about this stuff.
Thank you so very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.